Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in KITZUR HILCHOS SHABBOS. My apologies for the long hiatus, traveling around, vacations over the summertime. Did not have my sefer with me a lot of the time, and wasn't able to record religiously. So now we're back, Be'ez Hashem, in the very religious month of Elul, and we will continue in our quest for trying to master the laws of Shabbos the best that we can. We're in the malacha of tzeveya, of coloring. We spoke about coloring garments with dyes and paints and colors the like. We spoke about coloring food. And now, derech lichluk, what about something that is like dirty and destroying things? Someone whose hands are very dirty with, let's say, fruit juice, hatzayvim, that is colored. Or he has a cut, and that cut is spewing forth blood. There are those that say there are those opinions that say that when your hands are reddened with blood or fruit juice or the like, you should be very careful from touching tissue, paper towel, a rag, or the like. Because what's going to happen? Your hand has blood on it. You're going to touch a towel, and now the towel is going to get red. So you're coloring it. Nevertheless, there are those that are meko, that matir, that permit these things. They say that's not really what it means to color. That's just called getting dirty. And therefore, coloring is when you have a benefit from the coloring itself. You kavana, with intention, you're coloring something. Over here, your hand is dirty with blood, so you have to clean it up. So you are dirtying up the towel. You're not making it look nicer. However, the best way is have in mind all the opinions. A person should not really clean their hands, which are covered in fruit juice or blood, with any object. Rather, just wash them in water. And you'll wash it off, and that way you're not coloring anything. But if that's difficult, a person has a major cut, the good old sourdough knife sliced right into their finger, Rahman al-Islam, on Friday night, and the blood is spewing everywhere, and they run it under the water, and the blood does not stop, and you need to wrap it up. So then you can rely on the more lenient opinions. Nevertheless, better that you should take a garment, a towel, a piece of clothing or a rag that is not the same color as the fruit juice or the blood. Right? It shouldn't be red if you have a cut. Why? Because when you now clean off the wound with something that is a towel, a napkin, a rag that is not the same color as the wound, as the blood or the fruit juice, so then because if I'm bleeding and I take a white cloth, so I'm getting that cloth dirty and I'm ruining it. I don't want the white cloth to be stained with red. If I take a red cloth, so then I'm not really causing any damage to that red cloth, because anyway, more red is going on there. And therefore, I didn't do such a job of getting something dirty and destroying it. And therefore, as long as I use a cloth that's a different color than the blood or the fruit juice, and it's getting dirty and it's getting ruined, that already is a good thing, because that shows that I'm not trying to color in the right way. However, nevertheless, gamze matirim sheseif kol seif nechshav derech lichluk. Even if you use a cloth that is the same color, that is still going to be considered lichluk. You're getting it dirty, and therefore there is what to rely upon to be lenient in such cases. So that would mean that a person could, if they're bleeding profusely, God forbid, they could use a cloth to make sure that they get rid of the blood, or at least stop the blood up if they need to. Hope you have a safe Shabbos and you guard your fingers from the knives and the like, and the kids are safe and they don't get hurt and they don't get cuts. But if they do, and if a person does, it's good to know this is what the halach is. All the best.